Hello, I'm the artist Michael R. Zotos, and today is September 3rd, 2023. What I want to talk about right now is, some people have asked me over recent years, how did you manage to do all of these things? You get your head around these things and accomplish these results that you've done? Okay, it's not unusual for somebody to get involved in one or two or three different aspects and things, but to do so many, how'd you do it? Well, the bottom line is I can really thank these self-help books that I've been examining, reading over a lot of years. It actually started in 1979 when I went from my father's furniture reupholstery shop to a job in business-to-business telephone sales, where I found there was a lot more social context. And the office managers in these places would introduce you to these self-help books, and basically it was a requirement you go out and buy some of them. And the first one was The Magic of Thinking Big by David J. Schwartz. And he begins with, thoughts are things. And that resonated with me. For some people that does resonate, and for some it doesn't. I don't think my father would have gravitated to it at all in the upholstery shop. But for me it was great. Anyway, what I want to do right now is I want to pick up some of these. I have them on the table, these self-help books that I have been introduced to, I read, I examined. Now these are reference books. They're not like novels where you read it from cover to cover and then that's the end of it. It's always in your psyche. These are books you go back to constantly over days, weeks, months, years, and even a lifetime. Okay? They were written by very progressive people who actually changed the world. Everybody who is a high-profile person at this stage has heard of Tony Robbins, has heard of Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, has heard of The Magic of Thinking Big, and others that I have here on the table, and have actually read them, examined them, and worked with them. Okay, it's a very progressive thing. I went from the books, okay, to when the cassette audio tapes came out. They were done by the same people, and now you had the opportunity to actually hear these people speak their words, and that was great for me. Okay, so I've accumulated quite a few over the years, and I'm going to go through them and show them to you. Okay, what I'm going to do right now is show you some of these books right away. Okay, this is The Magic of Thinking Big by David J. Schwartz. This was the first one, and it begins with thoughts are things, and it goes on from there. Okay, then one of the most significant ones is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Okay, this was backed by Andrew Carnegie, and it was written over 20 years, and this is a second copy that I have. I read these thoroughly. Now this book is not really a reference book. You have to read each chapter deeply to get what's in it. This is Winning Through Intimidation by Robert J. Ringer, and it's not what it sounds like. You don't go around carrying a lead pipe and scaring people, or something like that kind of intimidation. What you're doing is you dress all up in a three-piece suit, you have a briefcase, a jacket and tie, and you look the part as a business person. And it's basically a training program to become a business person. Now this one is a Frank Betcher, How I Raised Myself from a Failure to a Success in Business Through Selling. And this is really good. It's very old, okay, I think the 40s, but it's kind of like a precursor to a lot of this stuff, and it's almost like prehistoric in this industry. And this is the same book, later model. It's bigger print in it. Okay, now real quick, I want to go to these two books because these are the only two that I've picked up and bought recently. Okay, they're both by Paul Arden. It's not How Good You Are, but it's How Good You Want to Be. Very good, very progressive book. Okay, short chapters with words and then some pictures in there to refer to. And then whatever you think the opposite by the same man. Okay, very, very good. Okay, they're the only two books that I've bought more on a recent basis. Okay, on this issue. Okay, now another one. Now we're going to go into well, here. This was Time Tactics of very successful people. This was given to me by a cousin of mine who's a business person and has an office with employees. For him it was necessary, time tactics. For me it really wasn't. I didn't get that much out of it. Okay. Here's Trump, the way to the top. There's not a whole lot from Trump himself in this. It's a lot of, every page is a little story from one or another particular business person, and there's a lot of those, and those are very good actually. Okay, here's two short pages, two different business people, and it's basically about how to get along with other business people and what to do, and there's some very good information in there. Okay, and one that I really like a lot. Okay, I'll give you two that are very, very good. One is Brian Tracy, Absolute Unbreakable Laws of Business Success. Okay, there's a lot of reading in this. This is not my favorite. My favorite with Brian Tracy were the audio tapes. Okay, not the reading. Okay, another one is Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar, 5 Steps to Successful Selling. I was never really big on selling and blow by blow, how to sell kind of self-help. But Zig Ziglar had a tape called Goals, and it starts off, ladies and gentlemen, he would give speeches, like a room packed with people in like lawn chairs, and they would talk, and he says, ladies and gentlemen, the evidence is absolutely certain. You must have those goals. And I think he was from Louisiana or someplace down there. He had a certain accent like that, but it was very, very good. Okay, any Brian Tracy and any Zig Ziglar. I like Zig Ziglar also because his first and last name begin with a Z, and my name is Zotos, so I kind of gravitated there. Now we're going into the audio tapes. Okay, this was like a Bible for me. Tony Robbins. Okay, Awaken the Giant Within. Okay, the actual cassette tape. These are cassettes. I left it someplace in a paper bag or something, so I'm going to buy another one of these because I listened to this as I was driving religiously for a long time. It has all little discussions in there of things that went on in his life, how things unfolded. It's very, very good. Okay, this is Norman Vincent Peale, who was a household name. We're going way back, and it's Positive Imaging. And here, okay, he really walks you through an imaging process that works really well. The only thing of it is, you can't listen to this on a daily basis. It gets to be too much. But it's kind of like once you hear it, you go back to it every now and then, but then you have it. Now here's another one. This Herb Cohen. You can negotiate anything, and he really does give you some good pointers on negotiating. One of which is, you go into a car dealership, and you don't just go in and try to do your business deal. You let them spend some time on little things here and there, so they've invested some time. And with anything, it doesn't have to be a car dealer, but he really walks you through some good stuff. Really good, and I think he actually even had the paperback for this. I wasn't able to get that. Okay, now some more Tony Robbins. Okay, on that same vein. Okay, this is, I don't know who wrote this. Peter B. Stark and Jane Flaherty. It's the only negotiating guide you'll ever need. Okay, and I thought so much of this that I bought the tape because I had already had the book. Okay, and it's great. It's great to have these paperback books because you can underline things, and it's no waste because it's just a paperback, and they're pretty cheap, Now here's Dale Carnegie, the guy who wrote How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is The Leader in You. Okay, not terribly deep. Here is a really good one. Brian Tracy, The Psychology of Self-Achievement, Okay, now there's 2 cassette tapes in here. Okay, I have to be careful when I open these for the first time in a while, because sometimes one's missing. I left it in a car or in a closet somewhere. But These are great. I listened to these 2 tapes over and over and over, many, many times. Okay. Now, these are a couple of kind of oddball tapes. How to get your point across in 30 seconds. You may have noticed I try to get my YouTube videos where I'm talking, get the work out there and done without going through a lot of bullshit. All right. Depending on who you are. All right. Self-imaging program. Okay. I didn't get much out of this. It's just, you know, you buy these oddball looking things and you go with them. Now, here's Napoleon Hill, A Year of Growing Rich, which has 1 cassette in it, in a nice little case. And it was narrated by somebody else, and I didn't get that much out of it, okay? It's just, it is what it is, all right? Here's Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. It's nowhere near as good as the book, as far as I'm concerned. Now, here's Napoleon Hill, The Science of Personal Achievement. This was great. This was great, okay? 2 tapes. I listened to these many times. I took good care of it. When there's 2 tapes and they're still in the box, I took care of them. Wasn't laying on a shelf, I can assure you. Now, Tony Robbins had, well, first let me just blow through a couple of these other ones. Here's Brian Tracy, Thinking Big. I didn't find that too good for a Brian Tracy. You know, you can go on YouTube now and look at Brian Tracy. He's got a lot of good things. Napoleon Hill, Selling You. I didn't like that. Okay. Here's a DVD by Brian Tracy on selling. Okay. Sounds like somebody next door is teething. Okay. Anthony Robbins' Power Talk. These Power Talks had 2 tapes in them, and they were like, I don't know, maybe 40 minutes a piece, and they're great to have in the car, and they're all different ones on different subjects. This one is The Power to Create, The Power to Destroy. This one is Learn to Use the Power of Questions. Very good. Oh, I think they have other people in them, but it's a Tony Robbins. Okay, Power Talk, References, The Fabric of Your Life. Okay. Now from there, I went to the Tony Robbins Personal Power sets of tapes, okay? And this is one that's really seven packs. Let me see, was there 2 in there? No, there's one tape in each, okay? Day 1, The Key to Personal Power, okay? But there were 7 and 1's missing at this stage, so there's 6 in here. But it's a good set. I go back and listen to these once in a while, not too much. And then comes my original Anthony Robbins Personal Power set of 12 sets. There were 2 cassettes in each of these, and this was very, very good. Okay, you have to dedicate the time to it, but it flows easily. It's nice, and that's that. Now, when you work in those types of sales offices, this is indispensable if you have a lousy office manager. I'm not going to say too much about it, but there we go. All right. And what I think is this. I've really spent a lot of years reading these books, listening to the tapes, going back in and out of them, not for the purpose of making this tape, this art talk here, but for the sake of getting results at things I was working at. And when you're getting involved with self-help and you're applying the knowledge as you go, okay, you really are expanding yourself. And that's what I did. And I believe that resulted in a lot of good results, my ability here to create these art concepts. And I think you're getting a good benefit from a lot of years of my work here.